guys, what's up? Welcome to another Q&A video. Just like all the other Q&As, I'm gonna let YouTube filter the comments, so any question I haven't answered already, I will answer in this video. And today, we have Aika here, just making sure I answer everything properly. So we'll see if she actually wants to move down and sit on my lap, but I set it up this way so I can still be close to her. But it looks like she's already thinking about it. So yeah, let's just get started. Alright, so first question. Have you ever thought of making a video with just forest sounds? Just an idea. No, not really. Like they mentioned, there's plenty of those on YouTube already. I don't know, I'm just not really into that right now. Maybe later I'll make some like calming forest sound videos or something like that, but right now I'm not really feeling it. What do you do with your eco bricks once they're done? Will you be using them in some way in your own builds, or do you send them away somewhere where people build houses out of them? I'm not sure. I only have, I'm working on my third eco brick right now, so it really depends on how many I make in the time that we're living in this tiny house. You can make like a very simple like table and chairs out of eco bricks, but it just depends on how many I make. If I don't end up making that many, I will just send them to someone else who wants to build something out of them. And I can connect with other eco brickers on the eco brick website. And I think they have like Facebook groups and stuff like that. Have you changed your diet at all? Just curious because you're looking so tiny. No, I haven't changed anything with my diet. It's pretty much exactly like the last What We Eat in a Day video, which I can link in the video description and in a card if you want to check that out. It's pancakes for breakfast, and then pasta with chapati for dinner, have coffee, tea, and then like fruit as a snack if I'm feeling hungry in between those meals. I haven't lost any weight recently. My weight's the same. It fluctuates by a couple pounds depending on like what time of the month it is. So here's a two-part question. Who provides your money? Social or what? I don't know what they mean with the social or what. That's on my How I See the US after living in Europe for 2.5 years. So quick answer to this question is that I earn money through YouTube. YouTube places ads in my videos. I earn money that way. I also earn some money through affiliate sales, and I've explained all of this in other videos too, so I can link those as well in a card or in the video description if you really want to know. It's a little weird to me when people want to know those things, but I get like if I'm traveling around full time, they just want to know like how am I supporting myself, but I would just assume that that person has it figured out somehow. They're working remotely, they're earning money through YouTube or social media, maybe they have a blog, something like that. And really, it's not the viewer's right to know that thing. Like, if the person doing the video doesn't want to talk about it, then they don't have to share that information. But on that video in particular, I've had several people come up with theories as to how I can afford to travel around full time. One of them is that I have a sugar daddy who's just paying for everything for me. And other ridiculous theories, but it's not that crazy of a concept that you can actually save money in advance, that you can earn money as you're traveling, whether that's on YouTube or other social media. Alright, next question. Can you grow turmeric in your garden? I don't know how to grow turmeric, but I guess we could try. We really only use turmeric in curry powder, so I don't know if it would actually be worth it to grow turmeric here. I don't eat it like fresh or anything. WTF. The name of the video is What Do I Think About Vaccines? And you just shortly replied, I would take it and no think twice about it. I thought you would elaborate more on this complicated issue. So that's on my video, Q&A video, titled What Do I Think About Vaccines / Tiny House in Poland Q&A. They must have missed the pinned comment where I actually have all of the other questions listed for that video. They're just disappointed because I didn't answer the question in the way that they wanted me to. But my answer to that question is short just because I have nothing against vaccines. I will take them, and I have taken them. If that's what's recommended, then I would take the vaccine. Yeah, I just titled that video, What Do I Think About Vaccines? Because that was one of the Q&A questions. So I always do that for the Q&A videos. I just pick one of the questions, and that's the title of it. Because I'm not going to title every video Tiny House in Poland Q&A because I'll have like dozens of videos titled the same. And really, I feel like my answer to that question would be longer if I didn't want to take vaccines. But if someone asked me straight up, what do you think about them? I'm going to just tell them that yeah, I have nothing against vaccines, and if it's recommended that I take one, then I'm going to take one. So, end of discussion. When you are not filming, are you talking in English or Polish together? We always speak English, and that's just because Kuba prefers speaking in English. He likes speaking in English, so he's happy to speak English all the time, and we just speak English at home. Are you safe? There is a massive wildfire in the nearby Brebzhansky National Park. Incidentally, what is your take on climate change? So first question, yes, we are safe here. Second question, this is going to be another short answer, but I just follow the consensus of the scientific community worldwide. So if they believe there's overwhelming evidence, and they show that there's overwhelming evidence that climate change is real and something is actually happening, then I'm going to believe that. I would never just deny that if we have all of this evidence pointing towards one thing. Now, whether it's man-made or not, that's a different argument. But I do believe it's a man-made thing, or at least it's exacerbated because of man-made causes. Someone's asking me about my memberships here. Do you get the full $4.99 or does YouTube take a cut? So this is on the video where I'm explaining that I'm quitting Patreon and moving to YouTube memberships. So just like with Patreon, with any of these membership type platforms, YouTube does take a cut. If you pay $4.99 and you join my memberships, YouTube is taking a chunk of that out. And that's totally normal. Patreon did the same thing. YouTube does take more, but I feel like that's totally fine because YouTube actually works. Patreon does not work well. If you're considering joining my channel through the memberships, thank you so much for even thinking about that. I wouldn't worry at all about how much YouTube is taking out. I've been using the memberships now for maybe a week or so? I don't remember. But it's actually way more efficient and easy to use. And people, and the members who have signed up so far seem to enjoy it. And there's more interaction on the posts here. Did you used to wear makeup? How long did it take to get used to not using any? I did used to wear makeup, a full face of makeup. And I had so many products, makeup products, skincare products, whatever. How long did it take to get used to not wearing it? I don't really remember. It just... basically I was like, I'm not gonna wear makeup anymore, and I just stopped wearing it. For the first week, it was weird because the people I worked with and my friends, they were like, whoa, what's wrong with you, or whatever, because I looked different because I wasn't wearing any makeup. But after that, people just got used to seeing me, seeing my face, and this is how I am. And no one ever said anything, no one asked about it, but the way I felt when I wasn't wearing makeup, it felt so good to not have anything on my skin, because my skin could actually breathe and my skin was getting better. The acne was healing up after that. I really didn't care what other people would think, but I don't miss makeup at all. I like the way it looks on other people, but I don't miss the hassle of putting it on myself, and it just it made my skin so much worse. So I'm happy to be without makeup, but if you want to wear makeup, that's totally cool. And I understand why people like wearing makeup, but for me and my skin, it just doesn't work. Alrighty, next question. Is there anywhere that you both really want to visit and haven't yet? We want to visit Portugal, because we've heard such good things about Portugal. We really want to spend time there in the near future. So once everything calms down, maybe we can go to Portugal. In addition to that, Kuba's never been to the US, so we would really like to do a big road trip around the US together, just so I can show him everything. Because I've lived all over the US and traveled around, so I would be an excellent tour guide for him. So we would like to do that too in the future. And of course, we're not just gonna leave Aika here or get rid of her, whatever. If we do travel around, she would come with us, or we would figure something out where a friend could dog sit for us while we are in the States for a little bit. Oh, I have a question about my purple hoodie that I'm currently wearing. Love your purple hoodie. Is it also from Organic Basics? This is not Organic Basics, surprisingly. A lot of my clothes are from Organic Basics. This is from the thrift shop, but speaking of Organic Basics, if you want to try any of their stuff, I have a discount code in the video description where you can save... How much is it? Let me see. Yeah, the discount code is for 10% off your Organic Basics purchase. That's in pretty much every video, but it's going to be in this video too, so check the video description. Have you tried sunflower butter? They love peanut butter, and sunflower butter is the close second. I have tried it, but it's been a long time, And I don't remember being that impressed with it, but I will try it again to see what it's like. Someone's asking me, what flour do you use for chapati? It really depends how many I want to make. Lately I'm just doing 50-50 white flour and spelt flour. I'd be fine doing them all spelt or all whole wheat, but since those are harder to get right now, we're cutting it with white flour. But it also just depends how I'm feeling, because all white chapati, like just using all-purpose flour, those taste really nice too. Do you ever make chai from scratch? Do you have a good recipe? I've made a chai spice mix before, and I used Minimalist Baker's recipe for that. I used it for cookies, but I've never used it like in a beverage. Have you considered putting together an Ariel Dog Run? It would allow Aika more freedom outdoors. I've never heard of an Ariel Dog Run, but they posted a link here. Oh, okay, I see it now. It's basically like a cable, and then the dog is attached to that, and then the dog can go like back and forth on this cable. I don't really see the need of installing something like that because we are going to have a little fence here. Kuba's gonna make a porch once we get the siding up. So for now, she is totally fine just being like hooked up to that umbrella. And she really just wants to like lay in the grass. She doesn't really want to roam. She wants to stay just like close to us. Are you and your husband still going to live in the house or van? Well, we still have the van, so we're planning on redesigning the back, and we're gonna use that to do other trips. We're never gonna go back to like full-time living in the van because we have this house. This will just be our home base, and then we can travel out with the van whenever. A question about Aika. What is the age of Aika? She is now 4 years old. That's the estimate that the shelter gave us. They think she was around 3 years old, and they put her estimated birthday for April, so now she is 4. How do you find living in a more rural area compared to living in the city? They're good in different ways. So like here it's nice because it's nice and quiet for the most part. We can go for walks through the woods. You don't have to see anyone. Like it's nice and dark here at night. You don't have lights from the city. It's like a slower life too, because we're not going to the shop that often. And like if we were living in a city, we couldn't have a tiny house like this. It'd be a different experience. But when we live here in a small village outside a small city, that means there's no like Asian shops, no Middle Eastern shops, stuff like that. The cafes are limited. Different types of ethnic foods are limited. But that's just the pros and cons of living in the city versus living in the country. We talk about Krakow a lot because we do miss aspects of living in Krakow and living in a larger city, but we don't miss the noise or the air pollution. Those were two things that like we just got used to them in Krakow, but I don't miss that at all. The smog or the sirens in Krakow, because we were living near a hospital, so we would hear sirens all the time. And then just walking around too, there's lots of noise from traffic. As far as like, has this pandemic changed my outlook at all about living in a town versus the countryside? I don't think it has, because like, I wouldn't want to only live in the country like this all the time. I would prefer to have a blend where it's like we're in the city part of the time and then in the country part of the time. So once we are able to travel, it would be cool if we could visit larger cities here and there, get some time in the city, and then we can come back and just relax at the tiny house. I wouldn't say that like I'm only going to live in a remote area away from everyone because of something like this. I'm sure it's going to change other people's opinions, and maybe there will be more people who are interested in like living sustainably away from a large city. After the travel ban is lifted, where do you want to travel to? I think once we're allowed to travel, we will probably go back to Krakow. We actually were planning to do that before all of this lockdown happened, and then we had to cancel our reservation and change our plans because that was like just before everything got locked down. So we'll probably go to Krakow, maybe travel around Poland a little bit, and then later, we wouldn't mind going to Portugal. So we'll just see how it all goes. Hi. I'm almost done. Alright, so that'll be the last question for today's video, so thanks so much for your questions, thanks for watching, and feel free to ask more questions, and I will answer them in next week's Q&A. Aika! Oh, she's going to Cuba.
Hello, pig.
She was sitting on me. Aww. She's like, I missed you.
You miss me, Aika? Did you miss me?